the San Antonio Brahmas and the Houston Roughnecks. Houston, the 3.5-point favorite here. This line moving in a different direction. Opened up at 4.5, Houston, trickling down. Now to 3.5, moved almost a point. That total moving around as well. You get San Antonio plus 160 on the money line. The unblemished Fighting AJ Smiths. Remember, there's only 3 members of XFL 2020 who are back in 23 to preserve that Houston undefeated record. That's who? AJ Smith, Hendy, the safety, and Nick Colley. There may be an assistant coach, but I think that's really it. So Wade Phillips and Brian Stewart have both been home run adds to this operation in Houston, and the defense is really the class of the league. I think when you look at the Brahmas offense against the Houston defense, I fear the Brahmas don't match up very well here, and that's why I'm a little confused about this number. I would have made this Houston -6, and I know that's a lot, but I don't see the matchup here. I think San Antonio had some issues protecting against St. Louis. Jack Cohn wasn't able to stand up very well after that game. And that's only going to get worse when you have Tim Ward and Trent Harris for Houston just blitzing the passer, and Wade Phillips at 3-4 defense coordinated by Brian Stewart. That's been nasty all year. They lead the league in sacks and TFLs, and it's really not close. Tavante Beckett and Emmanuel Ellerby, both in that linebacker group, they were both limited in practice this week, so keep an eye on that. But again, I think it's pretty simple for Jamie Elizondo here. You're not going to have the time to throw like Jack Cohn did against Orlando. You know that. They're going to blitz. So what do? You go back to what worked in week 1, and that was Kalen Ballage, and a healthy dose of Ballage, who was a workhorse back in week 1. He's the toughest tailback that Houston will have faced thus far this season. And the difference this time is that instead of kicking 4 field goals inside the 30, score the damn football. You got to get into the end zone. You're not going to beat Houston with field goals. Things get a little too crazy down the stretch in this league, especially to be kicking a bunch of field goals. We saw what happened to San Antonio in week 1. So to me, you look at the common opponent. We know San Antonio's taken some money from 4.5 to 3.5. Houston gained 337 yards against Orlando. San Antonio, just 210. Flip sides of the ball. Houston gave up 303 yards to the Orlando Guardians. San Antonio holding them to almost half that, 175. But again, the scores of those games were essentially the same. But that Brahmas front is going to push you around on defense, and this is why you need more Cole McDonald. Give Cole a roll. Give Cole a roll. Print it on a t-shirt. You need somebody that's going to be able to escape this Brahmas rush. I expect to see 14 early and often. They're going to continue to work him into the offense, right? AJ Smith's not stupid. He knows he's a valuable asset and probably going to take over as a starting quarterback one day. I don't think Houston, honestly, has that big of a home field advantage. I was a little disappointed because they had 12,000 come out when it was like 35 and windy and a little bit of rain week 1. And then in week 2, 75 and clear. I figured against your rival in Arlington, the Texas Throwdown, I figured at least 18K. No, they had 11. They had less. So not too sure what's going on there. It comes down to marketing. You see the DC and St. Louis marketing and us fans from those teams carrying this league with the most engagement. San Antonio has great potential. They just have to find somebody to run event and business operations, as Mike Sheehan was let go. But again, you know me. I've been very, very positive beating this XFL drum. The social media from the Roughnecks, by the way, has been exceptional. Great content coming from that side. But I think the marketing and the PR may have been a little lacking for Houston. We've been able to establish really good connections with most of the league. In fact, I'd say about 90%, but haven't got a call back from Houston yet. So if you're a Houston Roughnecks fan, don't get on me. We'd love to have your players. We'd love to feature your stories. We just got to get a call back. So hopefully we can stop on the tour there and clean that up. But I think Houston could do a little bit better marketing here. Until that changes, we'll do our absolute best. And that's not why I dropped you guys to number 2 in the poll, I promise. I had a good reason. Back to this one. Again, offense kind of limped through the Arlington game, I think, for Houston. They're going to bounce back here. Brandon Silvers was 14 of 28 for 173 yards in week 2. That, to me, is not an air raid offense. So he's going to top that, and that's why I'm ultimately going Houston, as I have for both picks this year. And Zook, you like Houston as well. We were talking about it before the show. I assume you're going with the favorite. Yep. Oh, I wish we could get him +4. Wouldn't that be something? So Mikey moan for Cone. Couldn't even get his first name right. He called him Jake Cone on Man to Man, and he goes with them anyway. So maybe Mike laid his bet on San Antonio, and that's why they went to 3.5. I wouldn't doubt it. Some major money coming in for Mikey Manziel there.